So, good morning, it's Lior. How are you guys? I wanted to do an inspection today because one of the things that is easy to make a mistake with is that when it's the honey flow and it's June 4th, so we have a few weeks still to go. But the biggest mistake is thinking that everything is running smooth and you're just going to be letting the bees do their thing and get honey. And it happens more often than not, but you do get the instances where something is weird, right? So in this hive specifically, we've put a super on, and literally they haven't done anything with it. And this is going on a couple of weeks now. And so what we'll do is we'll take a look and see what's going on, because more often than not, the bees are telling us something is wrong, and it's up to us to determine what to do about it. So case in point, I've put a couple of frames in that were lightly drawn. So you see there's not a lot of fresh new wax on there. But this was more so to tell them, like, hey, this isn't just brand new foundation. Like, come up here, maybe do a little bit. And I'm finding that this is pretty much what it's been like for the past few weeks. Just a handful of bees. We'll shake them off. Visiting, kind of saying hello, but not doing much else, which is definitely not what we want, especially during this season, because building wax is at the very minimum like a must-have, right? We don't want, if we can't get honey, we want wax. So I'm going to smoke them a little bit. So we want to find out what's happening here. Alright, now that we put that puppy aside, a couple things we're going to look for, and that's kind of population, which doesn't look to be dense, right? So immediately what this tells me is that we've got a queen problem, because they've probably backfilled, meaning anywhere that she should have been laying, they filled it probably with nectar. So we either so course of action would be to either requeen this hive, or you know what, if it's been a while, they're probably going to try to replace her. So what we'll see is what we would need to do. And unfortunately it's been very rainy, so I haven't been able to go. Wow, see that they're a little, these girls were historically also very testy. So I'm not going to say love is lost with this queen if she is no longer with us, but oh my goodness. So let's see. So we have, right off the bat, super seizure cell. So something was squashed here. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what that was. That might have been a super seizure cell. I don't know how that got squashed, but okay. So case in point, right, normally during the honey flow you're going to be talking about 10 frames of bees, right? So you'll have a ton of coverage of bees. Here we have a super seizure cell, or emergency cell, most likely if the queen is no longer with us. So we'll put that one very gently. So that's, so normally there's a queenless behavior, so they're much more flighty and kind of erratic, and very buzzy, but I'm not seeing that. So yeah, so we have here kind of very spotty right, brood. So it was emerged, nothing really was replaced, and right, we would normally, the queen would lay up in there, we would see larvae, and what I'm seeing is, I don't know if you can catch any glistening, I'm seeing nectar. So all signs so far point to a problem. Alright, so they are probably... The good news is they have a ton of food. Oh, so some of these frames are very heavy. And voila. Come on over and show you guys. So right there is an emergency cell, right? So you have them really located at the top of the frame, big peanut shapes. You know, you could see that there's a lot of nectar where the queen would have normally laid. So at this point, we know there isn't much to do here. Ooh, propolis. I'm just glued up. So you wear gloves, or at least at the very least, nitrile gloves. Alright, so we're talking about a queen that's probably going to be emerging any day now. It's pretty much a waste to try to do much else. And you know, it's very recent. We have larva or pupa that's emerging. So I don't know if you could see, there's like these little tiny kind of fuzzy bees. So these are just kind of like right nicely colored. These fuzzy are, you know, they're very light and they're kind of clumsy. So these are newly emerged bees. Oh, hey there. So I'm just going to take a look at one more frame. Not that we need to get any more evidence, but just taking a look to see how many cells they've actually created, if they're just more so specific to that one frame. Okay. It's a shame. This would have been beautiful under different circumstances. This would have been a very beautiful frame to display. So here you could just see kind of the standard, just like beautiful honey, right? Then you have kind of pollen stores, you have the brood in the middle, and then you have the newly hatched bees that are actually cleaning their cells. So that's one of the things that they do. As soon as they emerge, they actually immediately get to work. They clean their cell, and in this way it opens up the opportunity for the queen to lay. So we have brood. This is not a lost cause by any means. The queen is going to be coming out any day now. Oh, you don't want to squeeze bees, that's when they get pissed. Okay, I'm sorry. You don't want to have a smoker that busts out on you either. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of this brace comb here at the top. So what they were doing is like bridging. Alright. They were bridging the frames together. We pissed off a drone. What are we going to do? Which I believe is, it's kind of how we got a little bit jacked up with the super seizure cell, or the emergency cells that were squished. So we want to put everything together. Okay. Okay, this is where the queen cells were on, this frame right here. Put this puppy back on. And last but not least, okay. Squeeze it in, gentle, gentle, gentle. There's a lot of propolis here. Okay. So, unfortunately, not much else we can do. I mean, the important thing is to know that this colony can recover. The new queen will emerge, let's call it in the next 4 or 5 days. She's going to go on her mating flight. We're expecting very high temperatures, which is why I'm doing it this morning too. We're expecting 90s all pretty much through Thursday. Today is Saturday, so it's going to be super, super hot. But the good news is she'll be able to find the drone cloud, hopefully mate, right, without any issues related to weather. Come back, lay up, and then we can pretty much check this again next week. I'm gonna say comfortably, probably around 10 days. We don't want to really disturb the process. We wanted to just make sure that she's back, she's laid up, and then we check for eggs. And then we rebuild this colony up a bit. But they have plenty of food stores, which is great, so I'm actually very happy about that. So we just have to figure out and build these frames next season. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.